Hey there, guys. So today we have another review, and this is Founders KBS 2014. It's been about a year since this beer has been released. I believe last year, or this year, it will be coming out in about a month. So with almost a year on it, why not review it? So let's dig in. So the beer comes in a nice kind of dark black color, a good amount of this kind of a brown film sort of lingering on the glass, good amount of kind of head on that. Yeah, almost like a brown, a burgundy kind of brownish hue coming in through the light. Let's get the aroma on this. Smells immediately to me like Founder's Breakfast Stout. I actually had that over the weekend. This kind of bitter coffee, almost cacao nib kind of quality as well. A little bit of alcohol, sort of hints that it's a, bourbon barrel aged beer. I don't immediately pick out that it is a bourbon barrel aged beer. Some beers sort of almost smell like, hey, somebody threw a shot of bourbon or scotch into my stout. This is not that. Almost this kind of burnt caramel, dulce de leche, butterscotch kind of sweetness in there as well. Cheers. This beer is a good temperature. Yeah, perfect temperature actually. First thing I noticed is that the beer has a weaker mouthfeel. At 11.2, the initial taste is quite watery, but then it turns out to be a little bit more silky and cohesive in mouthfeel. But I've had beers that are probably around, or world class beers, that are around maybe 8% that drink much better than this mouthfeel wise. As for the flavor, again, reminds me a little bit of breakfast stout because I've recently had it. But it has this kind of, the coffee has this almost kind of astringency that reminds me of, just no offense, the worst coffee you've ever had. You can joke about, DMV coffee, if that's even a thing, or, uh, school coffee or work coffee, whatever jokes there are, the worst coffee you can imagine, cafeteria coffee. It has that kind of flat bitterness, astringency that is reminiscent of that kind of poor quality kind of coffee, and also slightly watery too. But I will say, it pops up at certain areas with this almost nuttiness and reasonable kind of coffee flavors, better coffee flavors. So it has that underlying like, oh my god, I'm tasting the best, worst coffee ever, but also some good coffee flavors as well. So it's not the worst. As well, a good amount of milk chocolate in the mid palate. Moves on to kind of a cacao nib, kind of a really bitter kind of dark chocolate kind of flavor. Dries out with that kind of flavor, and then on the back end, you're hit with this kind of drying of alcohol slash bourbon. The barrel characters coming through. Yeah, it's actually almost slightly boozy. I guess I've warmed it up a good amount, but on the back end, you get a good amount of kind of alcohol attack. I will say that this beer um, fails as a world class beer in many ways. As a bourbon barrel aged beer, it is lacking in those complexities, or just a bourbon spike. Some beers I like, that kind of attack of bourbon quality, or that kind of really complex, vanilla, coconut, all those wonderful tannic flavors, everything in there. It's not doing either. The stout, it is a little bit chocolatey, but not completely there. Not kind of robust. I'm not getting these kind of big, chunky chocolate cake kind of flavors that I like in a kind of big kind of imperial stout. Lacking in that kind of quality. The coffee, the coffee is just again not doing it. It does have some good qualities, but it does have a good amount of this kind of flat astringency that is lacking. So sorry, I'm just looking for ways to sort of describe what I have issues with this beer, or what issues I have with this beer. But in general, it is decently complex. It is good drinking. I will say, maybe it's how it's aged for a year, maybe it's the vintage. It is not 100 out of 100 on beer. This beer for me gets something like in 92. Yeah, there you go. So this beer gets a 92. You can get angry and let me know what you think in the comments, but that's what I think about the beer right now. An interesting experiment. I've actually done this twice. I don't know if I've told you guys. I don't think I have. At some bars in New York, they have Goose Island events. Actually, we have them pretty frequently. And we are able to find Bourbon County Stout and barley wine on tap at the same time. You know, it makes sense that if you're doing Goose Island event, you'd have both. And I've asked for pours of both and blended the two. I mean, why not? I actually figured out this year why I figured out to do it this year. And I'm surprised that I haven't figured out to do it, before that. But anyway, it turns out great. So, Bourbon County Stout barley wine is an amazing blend. Man, it is so good. And if you guys really clamor for me to review a blend of these two beers, then let me know, because I'll do it, because it's amazing. And speaking about that in general, you guys are just awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for watching and commenting and subscribing and reaching out to me in social media. Thank you for everyone who's reached out to me and the kind words. I don't even know what to say. It really is super flattering. I don't even know what to say. And yeah, again, I'll post my social media links below. And I'm incredibly humbled by your guys just watching my dumb reviews. And until next time, guys, cheers. Thank you very much.